Can you hear me?
Can you hear us, Ms. Oxendine?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes.
All right. I know we have 3 minutes, but the board conference room is muted. Can you hear me? I can hear you.
And Rick Davis.
Can you hear us now?
I have a motion to approve September 13th meeting.
I make a motion that we approve those minutes.
Thank you. Could I have a motion to approve the meeting?
I make a motion that we approve the meeting agenda with those additions.
We have a second.
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion? All those who approve, raise your right hand. Thank you. Now, Dr. King.
In progress.
Good evening. Give it just a second. Grab another one. Thank you so much. Thank you for being here with us this evening. We want to begin this evening with a few recognitions. Our first one for early college. And as we have gone through the pandemic, it's been very difficult for schools everywhere to maintain a steady graduation rate. We tonight are pleased to recognize the early college for a 100% graduation rate for the 2020. So presented to Vance County Early High School for achieving a graduation rate of 100%. We'd like to congratulate Ms. Hyde, Travis Taylor, and the team at Vance County Early College. So let's continue on. Mic isn't working either, so we will just, I'll speak loudly. Our next recognition this evening is for someone who has supported this district for a long time. Mr. Jerry Steinbeck, would you please join us up front? So as Mr. Steinbeck comes forward, we, as the Board of Education and the staff here in Vance County Schools, would like to say thank you for your 40 years of service. Another round of applause for that. Hey, thank you. So we've got a little video we wanted to share with you, and then we have a couple of other things we'd like to say.
Hi, Jerry, my friend.
Congratulations for serving as school board attorney for 40 years. What an accomplishment. I know over the years, you've done a lot, seen a lot, heard a lot, remembered a lot, and probably wanted to forget a lot. I have fond memories of our 20+ years working together. You were always kind and most helpful to me, and I thank you for that. Finally, I wish you only the best. Here's to 40 more years. Carolyn Watkins, retired administrative assistant to the superintendent.
Hey, Mr. Steinbeck, this your favorite girl, dear. It's been wonderful working with you these last 3 years. You are full of knowledge and history and sometimes a jokester. Whenever I call you and ask you how your day is going, you would just say, it's another legal day in paradise. I hope you have 40 more years of legal days in paradise. Love, Deanna.
Congratulations, Mr. Steinbeck, on 40 years of service to the Vance County School Board. It was a joy working with you during my time there, and it is an honor and a privilege to be a part of your celebration. Best wishes on many more years of service to the Vance County School System, the students, the staff, and the board. Take care.
Just wanted to congratulate you on 40 years of being the attorney for the school board. I was with you about 20 years ago when I was on the school board, and I just remember how nice you were to me and pleasant. As I came on, I do remember a nice congratulations card that you sent me when I was elected. But one thing I really want to say is that I remember how controlled you were, especially in some real high-level, stressful situations when we did hearings for students and also when disgruntled parents came in. So thank you so much for your leadership and for your calmness in keeping us all on track.
It's a message for Jerry Steinbeck. This is Tony Jackson. Mr. Steinbeck, thank you for your service to Vance County Schools and for always being supportive to me as a superintendent from the day I arrived until the day I left, and even afterwards. You've been a great source of support and for me. I appreciate all that you've done for the many, many years that you've served. Just know that you've impacted thousands of students and their lives and the education that they have received. I miss working with you every day, and I'll forever say this to you. I said it to you when I was there, and I'll keep saying it to you. You're the absolute best school attorney I've ever worked with, and I appreciate you for everything that you've done for me, but also for the friendship. Best wishes. Thanks.
Hi, Jerry. This is Terry Garrison, State House Representative of District 32. It is my honor and privilege to extend to you a big thank you and congratulations for 40 years of service to the Vance County Schools. Your wise, expert, loyal, dedicated, and professional legal service rendered to the Vance County Schools can be directly attributed to the success that the schools have realized during your 40 years of tenure. My best wishes are extended to you for whatever future endeavors you may have, and I bid you Godspeed.
Mr. Steinbeck, Jerry, congratulations. Thank you for 40 years of service to Vance County Schools. But on a personal note, as a first-time superintendent, I could not ask for a better school board attorney. Someone who always has time to answer my questions, to give me background information, who has the historical knowledge of this district and situations. I am very fortunate to have someone of your knowledge base and of your character and ethics working with us here in this district. Thank you for the 40 years, and we look forward to many years to come. Congratulations.
The board would like to share with you just a simple gift. If you'll take, let's see, you take it out and show it, and then we'll take other. members an opportunity to speak. So a clock that recognizes his 40 years of tenure here at Vance County Schools, and a nice gift certificate to the Capitol Grill over in Raleigh. And you like to have a nice dinner. That's from the board, Mr. Stanback. Other board members, anyone like to make comments, please feel free to do so.
I would like to make a comment. I've lived here 62 years, and I've known Jerry all that time. And the first time I ever saw him, he was running around the sanctuary the first time. In a race.
Others?
Thank all of you. I'm very touched and appreciative. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Other board members, comments to Mr. Stanback?
I would just say, I've known Mr. Gary for a while, even, before, I got on the board before my retirement, and, when I was working, we would see each other in the court system and we would talk a lot, so he got a double whammy. Once I was elected, to the school board in 2002, so, we've been fast friends all that time, and everything that everybody said, I just say, they're correct. He has, he's loyal, he has quite the knowledge, and he has a great deal of patience. He does a great deal of patience, and he has served this county, very well, the school board, and I know his clients, and I've seen him in action before, and everyone has benefited from you.
I'm very appreciative of the opportunity to serve the board. All just been great work with the last 40 years, not always. That's just been a very nice experience for me, and I appreciate the opportunity to work with you, and I look forward to working with you. Thank you
so much.
I first met Jerry at First Baptist Church. His dad was my Sunday school teacher. And at that time, I didn't know if he would end up being an attorney or a preacher. Thank you, Jerry, for what you did.
Thank you.
And at some point, I would say when we get all the board members back in, we can take a photo so you can hang it on your office wall. I'll be fine to see it there.
I appreciate it.
Thank you so much. We have one other recognition for tonight, in February being School Board Appreciation Month. The district would like to take just a moment and make a few comments about our school board members. I also want to share with you the Silver Bell Award for whole board training that Vance County Schools has received from the North Carolina School Board Association. So I'll present this. This is a great honor of continued education and training for our entire board. But I also wanted to say that you see in the audience tonight most of our principals. That is a great show of support for each of you as board members, understanding that what you do is not an easy job. They are here to say thank you for what you do for each of us. Could we begin with a round of applause for go back that has a few thank you notes and other things, and then several of the schools have brought things for you. So they will be delivering to you a package, just a little something to say, we appreciate the time and effort and hard work that you do on behalf of the students here in Vance County. But let me step back and if principals, if you would remain behind your board member, and we are going to get a picture. I have to take a seat real quick. Right, so you could look at Miss Salmon, please.
All right, one,
Look at Miss Salmon, please.
1, 2, 3. If you'll stay right there, I'm gonna do one of this half and then one of this half. All right. And this goes all the way over to Mr. Wilson. 1, 2, 3. Then 1, 2, 3. Awesome.
Thank you so much. And principals, thank you for being here tonight and your show of support for our board members. And board, on behalf of the cabinet, myself, and all of the rest of us who work here, we appreciate you and what you do for each of us. Thank you. Thank you so much. As we continue on this evening, the first thing under the superintendent's report is our fiscal monthly oversight report. I'll allow Mr. Super to make any comments there.
Reconciliations are being done on a timely basis. The state fiscal recovery fund premium pay bonuses were paid to qualified staff on December 16th, 2021. The finance staff is working on calendar year-end items such as reconciling and issuing W-2s and 1099s, and the finance staff is also working on paying other state mandated bonuses to qualified staff, as well as the retro pay for July 1st to December 31st, 2021. The annual comprehensive financial report was submitted for awards to the GFAOA and the ASVO. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Super. Also, board, we have discussed earlier the concern and the great need for teachers with the number of vacancies that we are dealing with, as many districts are. And I shared with you a possible motion that Vance County Schools could use the ESSER's funding to pay the $5,000 sign-on bonus for all certified staff in grades 6 through 12. And we could look at that as retro to July 1, as we did for other bonuses for the EC teachers. If this bonus does, the sign-on bonus, I should say, does require 2-year commitment, as did the other bonuses, and it is actually paid out over a 2-year span.
Yes, please. I motion that Vance County Schools would use ESSER funding to pay a $5,000 bonus, sign-on bonus for all certified 612 teachers, retroactive to July 1st, 2021. This bonus requires a 2-year commitment with a payout over 2 years.
Motion by Ms. White, is there a second?
I second.
Thank you. Is there any discussion? All those in favor, please raise your right hand. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I will say that I feel that will be very beneficial in the recruitment of our 6 through 12 teachers. Currently, we're running about 19 vacancies between grades 6 and 12. The second piece of the superintendent's report refers to COVID and our COVID dashboard, our masking requirements. So just as a quick update, we went back to September to show you our highest point in September, with one day, September 16th, having 67 positive cases of students and or staff who were quarantined. That has been our highest number for positivity until January 7th. On January 7th, the district maintained, according to reported positive cases, we had 72 on January 7th. The state at large has around a 31% positivity rate. Vance County running about 26.7. So as we typically look at every month, the recommendation, I would recommend that we continue with the highest level of masking for all employees on all sites due to the increased number of positive cases.
Recommendation from the superintendent, do I hear a second?
I would like to make a motion as to what Dr. Bennett has stated.
Okay, do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you. Is there any discussion? If not, if you approve, please raise your right hand. Thank you.
Thank you so much. The second part of our COVID information refers to COVID mitigation bonus. In the state budget, there were funds set aside by the state for state employees paid as out of state as instructional support, a $1,000 COVID mitigation bonus. And again, that would only be for instructional staff paid from the state budget. We have within ESSERS the flexibility and the funding to pay that $1,000 COVID mitigation bonus to all employees, as all employees have been deeply involved in the mitigation and the training for COVID. Mr. Souther has provided for you the information as to the cost of that. It would come from PRC 181 ESSER free money. That is an allowable expenditure. And so I would like to recommend a motion that Vance County would pay all employees the $1,000 COVID mitigation bonus. Those not paid out of state funds would be paid out of ESSERS. And you can see that we would use the same window. They had to be employed March 20th, and they are currently employed as the parameters.
I would like to make a motion on COVID mitigation bonus. The motion is BCS will use ESSERS funding to pay all employees who are not part of the state COVID mitigation bonus. $1,000 bonus for all staff employed March 2020 and currently employed.
I second.
The motion by Ms. White. Is there any discussion? Not? Please raise your right hand. Thank you.
Thank you so much. The two remaining items are 2022 standing committees for the board. You have a handout for each of the committee assignments: policy, finance, curriculum, personnel, building and grounds, community and business relations. Are there questions? If not,
I would like to make a motion that we approve the standing committees as we have printed here.
A second.
That was a motion.
Yes.
Yes. Do I hear a second?
Ms. Booth second.
Thank you. Is there any discussion? Please raise your right hand. Thank you.
and the final item, record retention and disposition. Every year, the board is asked for approval of or agreement to follow the state policies around electronic records and hard copy records, what we can destroy and the amount of time in which we would store or save records. And this is something that does require board approval. And so I present to you the records retention and disposal schedule that is developed by the Department of Public Instruction and shared out with local units. It was a few revisions were made, but really nothing outside of the timeline. A few revisions in definitions, but it's very clear as to which records we must save and how long we must save them around academic programs, extracurricular programs, administrative records here at the district office, and student records. So I submit this to you for a motion for approval of the state required records disposition schedule.
I make a motion that we approve the program records and retention and disposition schedule as set out by DPI.
You're a second.
I second.
All those who approve, raise your right hand. Thank you.
That concludes my report.
Okay.
Madam Chair, I would just, may I say one thing?
Yeah.
Okay, I just want to say, I know when we vote and we talk about masking, you know, when we vote on it, and I know some people, if they're tuning in, they think some of us don't have a mask on, but if they will note that we are distant, you know, so if we were closer and someone's here, certainly I would have my mask on. But we are more than 6 feet, you know, apart, plus the plexiglass. So we're not being hypocritical when we vote and talk about masks.
Well, thank you. I had Lord, I'm asking.
I have two also, but I just glasses on and I would make it seal sold.
I have to wear my.
Because they fog up.
Okay, at this time, personnel, is Ms. Ellis with us?
Good evening. Good evening, Madam Chair, board members. The Personnel Committee met on January 5th, 2022. Members present were Dr. Cindy Bennett, Marsha Abbott, Michelle Burton, Gail Powers, Erica Sandlin, Margaret Ellis, Mr. Wilson, Mr. Souther, and myself, Jennifer Caraway. The meeting was called to order at 8:48 a.m. by Mr. Wilson. We discussed the personnel summary. The personnel summary was presented to the committee for review. There were no questions, and Mr. Wilson made a motion to take the summary to the full board for approval. Vacancies were also discussed. Currently, there are 37 school vacancies. There was discussion around how to fill these vacancies, especially in the middle and high school. For information item, there was global teachers. Information was presented on year 3 global teachers that will receive an extension request of 5 years. Questions were from Ms. Ellis, who asked, were surrounding districts also impacted by teacher shortage? And Mr. Wilson asked about staff and school attendance. There were no other questions, and the meeting was adjourned at 9:10 a.m.
Thank you.
I make a motion that we approve the personnel recommendations along with the addendum.
Yeah. Thank you. Do I hear a second?
Second.
All those who approve, raise your right hand. Thank you. Now, Ms. White, okay?
Mr. Souther.
Good evening. The Finance Committee meeting met on December 15, 2021. Members present were Ms. Darlene Oxendine, Ms. Linda Cobb, Mr. John Souther, Ms. Erica Sandlin, Dr. Cindy Bennett, Mr. Kevin Perdue, and Dr. Gail Powers. Ms. Cobb called the meeting to order at noon and turned the meeting over to Mr. Souther. Contracts and services and large purchases were discussed for equalized sensory services for the visually impaired students. John Sexton and Associates for audiology services for hearing impaired students. New teacher support program. Turning Point to provide students in grades 4 through 5 an introduction to computer coding and computer science. Maintenance Solutions for a bathroom privacy panel petitions at the Center for Innovation to be paid from ESSER funds. Mr. Souther had a phone conversation with Ms. Gloria White since she was not able to attend the meeting. In the phone conversation, Ms. White asked why the privacy panels are being ordered so early and other items not. The reason for this is there is a long lead time for these privacy panels and not for the other materials to remodel the bathrooms. Being no further discussion, Ms. Oxendine motion and Ms. Cobb seconded 2-0 to take the contracts and large purchases to the full board. Informational updates, Pierce Group Benefits has joined Assured Partners that handles our district supplemental insurances. Ms. White asked in the phone conversation about when the cafeteria plan would go out to bid again, and Mr. Souther said it would be next year. 6 exceptional children certified teachers and 11 bus drivers have been hired and will receive the signing bonus from ESSER funds. The summary of the 2021-2023 state budget salaries and bonuses for local education agencies is listed below. The district will not have to pay the 10% emergency E-rate copay requirement. USAC agreed to pay 100% of the connectivity fees, and Dale was then able to lower the cost to be within our price range and to include accidental care agreement. The state recovery fund premium pay bonus will allow the district to pay permanent employees $1,000 and an additional $500 bonus to employees meeting certain criteria, which will come from PRC 141. The comprehensive annual financial report for fiscal year 2020-21 was completed and submitted on time, and has been accepted and approved by the LGC and the Federal Clearinghouse as required. The key results are a clean audit, ensuring funds remain dedicated to instructional services, 2 findings that were procedural in nature and been corrected, and fund balance increased by 1.1 million. Being no further discussion, Ms. Cobb motion and Ms. Oxendine seconded 2-0 to take the comprehensive annual financial report to the full board for acceptance. In the phone conversation with Ms. White, she said that she had nothing to oppose in the finance committee agenda. Being no further business, the meeting adjourned at 12:26 p.m. and our next meeting will be January 26, 2022 at 12 o'clock.
I would like to make a motion that the board accepts all of the building grant. Yes, she's going right here. We do. I would like to make a motion that we accept all of the contracts that was just presented to the board from. I second. One question, Mr. Shooter, and that is, when it comes to the pay rate, those making, trying to get the percentage up to those making under $13 an hour, and they're already making that, so what percentage, what kind of raise would they get if they're already?
Yes, ma'am, they would receive 2.5% increase. Yes, ma'am, thank you.
Okay, all right. That's what I thought.
Yes, ma'am.
You did say percentage, you didn't say how much, but.
Thank you.
It would be 2.5. All right, thank you.
Okay, building ground, meeting met on December the 16th. Mr. Purdue informed the committee that the auditorium painting, cleaning and lighting upgrades was progressing, and as you know, we're going to have the dedication of that auditorium on the 27th, am I correct?
24th. So the dedication, 24th.
24th?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm going to, okay. Yes, to be dedicated in honor of Wayne A. Also, the committee found that the HVAC replacement academy has been moving along well, and all the new furnaces have been installed. Air handler replacements will begin with the holiday break, and I assume that they started that good. Car LED upgrade will begin during the spring as the next CIP project. As normal, and for 2 years, we have been cleaning and spraying, and we are still doing that, keeping our schools just as clean as possible. All of the touchless water fountains have been put in, so LPNC and also in the package you have the work order report. Any questions? Okay. Policy, Ms. Oxendine.
Can you hear me? The policy meeting met December 15th at 12:30. As always, we turned it over to Dr. Bennett, who does a great job explaining our policies. And we explained from 1310 parental involvement to 9020 facility designs. And they're located in the book if you would like to read them. If you need copies, you can see Miss Steed. She will give you one. After reviewing these policies, Ms. Cobb made a motion to take the fall 2021 custom policy updates to the Board of Education for approval, and it was seconded by Ms. Oxendine. So at this time, I'd like to make a motion that we take those policies to the full board right now for approval. Was it seconded?
Yeah.
Okay. I'd also like to apologize for not being there. In case you didn't know, my husband has COVID and I didn't think it would be very smart to come. So I wanted to end by saying our next policy meeting is January 26th at 12:30. That's all.
Thank you. The curriculum committee met on the 16th of December at 9:30. Members present were Mrs. White and myself. Staff present were the superintendent, Dr. Gail Powers, Chelsea Jennings, Marcia Abbott, and Dr. Destiny Ross. Dr. Powers at that meeting introduced Dr. Ross Putney and Chelsea Jennings to the curriculum committee, along with Marcia White, who provided a technology update. All meetings turned out to be very interesting to the entire committee and very informative. And this time I'll turn it over to Mrs. Powers.
Thank you, Mr. Wilson. Dr. Ross Putney shared with the committee that there were 65 contact hours of professional development and 116 participants in attendance. She stated that this number does include duplicated CEUs. Ms. Abbott shared the updates, technology updates. The Kajit device update includes 320 devices that were renewed for service. This number includes 18 new devices deployed, 16 previously deployed devices, and 286 devices available for checkout. She stated that the social workers continue to contact parents at each school and that a letter will be sent with payment options for devices that have not been returned. If all devices are returned, there should be about 250 devices ready for renewal. Again, we're still trying to contact students' homes and so far have been unsuccessful. Letters will be sent by January 3rd. Ms. White asked the price for each device, and Ms. Abbott stated that these devices cost about $500 each. We are continuing bus hotspot service in 32 areas and 11 in individual homes. 18 bus hotspots services are being discontinued. At this time, I would like to ask Dr. Ross Putney to come forward and talk to us about the student experiences at the Center for Innovation.
Thank you, Dr. Powers. Good evening, Madam Chair and board members. I was given the honor of coming before the curriculum committee meeting to go over our student experiences at the Center for Innovation. We were able to kick off our first intra-district field trip. We can go to the next one at the end of last semester. We brought over our fourth grade students from all of our schools on different days. And I have a short video that kind of recaps what that experience entailed for those students. So the theme was that of destination innovation. We had it all decorated and we were dressed as if we were flight attendants, as if the kids were going on a travel theme across 3 different spaces. So they had 3 different rotations there and they were able to engage in a number of things: teamwork, maker space, our Z Space lab, as well as exploring sound. Next, we look forward to inviting our 5th and our 8th graders over to the Center for Innovation. They'll come probably at the beginning of February, and their theme is going to be more so to get them prepared for transition for their next level, the 6th grade, and then of course the high school. Thank you again.
Thank you, Dr. Ross Putney. Attendance data was also shared during this session. We looked at the end of year data for the 2021 school year, which was 88.34%. Looked at the current district-wide rate, which was 87.72% as of December 15. Dr. Powers also informed the board that she and Ms. Jennings would be sharing grade level proficiency data later in the presentation. At this time, I'd like to call Ms. Chelsea Jennings up to share elementary education updates.
Good evening. I had the pleasure to update the board on some of our elementary initiatives. The first being the science of reading. And when you're considering the science of reading, that is a statewide mandate that all of our K-5 core instructional staff or teachers are engaged in. It focuses on reading and the fact that reading is taught through a systematic and explicit instructional approach in the areas of phonetic awareness, phonics, fluency, vocabulary, and comprehension, and these are considered the keys to teaching reading. Our teachers have been engaged in this professional development by way of letters, which is also mandated by the state of North Carolina. And we have some really dedicated teachers. They have truly been working diligently in completing the units and going through the professional development. We have about approximately 140 teachers who have completed Unit 1 and have started Unit 2. So they are well on their way to learning the basics of teaching reading effectively by way of the science of reading. Next, we updated on the foundational grade, which is kindergarten. We administered our formative assessment to all of our kindergarten teachers, and we have 100% of our students were assessed by the due date, which is 60 days within the school year. This formative assessment is considered ELI, which is the early learning inventory, in which we assess various specific indicators on a construct progression, which involves language literacy, mathematics, hand dominance, motor skills, social emotional skills, as well as physical skills. The next update was on handwriting. North Carolina standards require that instruction is given and provided in handwriting to our K-5 students. In K2, we have manuscript and then 3-5 cursive handwriting. And our teachers have been, or initially at the beginning of the year, sporadically kind of instructing students in this area, but now during this second part of the school year, the second semester, they're more intentional about the instruction providing handwriting instruction. And we also provided resources, and we are looking at additional resources and providing some professional development to teachers on how to actually teach handwriting effectively. Read to Achieve is our law that governs what we do in terms of reading instruction for our K-3 students. And the overall goal for Read to Achieve is that all students in grades K-3 be reading on grade level by the end of 3rd grade. And we also have a formative assessment for these students. Usually it's a universal screener, and this time we use M-Class, which is an assessment that assesses foundational skills for each one of these levels. It is a one-on-one assessment. It is administered 3 times a year, beginning of the year, middle of the year, and end of the year. Our teachers and students are engaged in the middle of the year currently. Hopefully we will finish that up toward the end of January. Thank you.
I would like to say we've had some wonderful presentations at our last meeting. We did so wonderful, and I enjoyed it all. Makes you want to go to the Center for Innovation. I mean, really. And with Ms. Jennings, you know, and what we propose here, you know, if this is fall, you know, I know we should be able to see growth. I just don't think we're gonna be exactly, I can't say, but I really believe that we can show some significant growth by going through this plan. So I thank you all. Ms. Abbott, you also, like your update on those gadgets and, you know, when we can get some of them back, you know, I don't know how that's gonna go, but at least we do have good records on what's missing.
Okay, the next curriculum instruction meeting is January 27th, 9:30. Thank you. Thank the two speakers that came tonight. I think it's important that you tell your story and I'll sit here and read it. Thank you.
And last, I'd like to say that's in your booklet. And if you're gonna turn it in, not taking mine out because I just still want to look at it and refer to it. So, because it was really great.
Yes, it is. Okay, conclude, community and business relations.
The Community and Business Relations Committee did not meet. Our next meeting is scheduled for February the 7th.
All right, thank you. Do any other new business? Out of county school system, out of county.
We have 3 students transferring into the district and 1 student transferring out of the district.
I would like to make a motion that we approve those transfers.
There's a motion that Ms. White that we approve the transfers, do I hear a second?
I second.
Any discussion? If not, those that approve, raise your right hand. Thank you. Okay, at this time, I move that we go into closed session, which is scheduled in section 143, for the purpose of discussing legal, personnel, and property issues pursuant to subsection A of that statute.
I second.
Thank you all. Thank all of you for being here this evening.